It's so great having you join us here on the 24th verse of Anand Sahib. The last verse was talking all about the highest truth, and this one is all about the opposite of the Guru's message. Verse 24 begins, "Without the true Guru, all other messages are false. A message is false without the true Guru, all other messages are false. False who speak it, false who hear it, false are those who recite and explain it. Their tongues may chant har har at every moment, but they know nothing of what they speak. One whose awareness has been captured by maa-i-aa, their speech is superficial. Says Naanak, without the true Guru, all other messages are false." So we heard in the last verse this word sachi Bani, the true message, the wisdom from the universal mind, the awakened mind. And here Guruji is talking about the kachee Bani, the false message, that which comes from the individual mind. And the Guru begins by saying, "Satguroo binaa hor kachee hai Bani." Without the true Guru, all other messages are false. Bani ta kachee satguroo baajhahu hor kachee Bani. The message is false without the true Guru. All other messages are false. Now this word kachee has to be understood. The word kacha means something that is raw, uncooked, unripe, inedible, and even something that is not matured or not ready. And people have in the past used this verse from Anand Sahib as a way of political point scoring, to somehow imply that the scriptures of all other spiritual traditions are all false, every other religion is wrong, and the Guru is talking about every other religion being kachee Bani, any other language, basically anything that is not written in Guru Granth Sahib or not written with the Guru's stamp of approval has been called kachee Bani by a lot of people. And I believe this is quite a misinterpretation of what the Guru is really trying to say. We see in other parts of Gurbani where Kabir Ji says, "Ved kateb kaho mat chuthe, chutha jo na bichare." Do not say that the Veds and the Abrahamic books are false. False are those who do not contemplate them. So this idea of Guru being locked to what is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji is something that a lot of people have not understood as being the wrong idea of what Guru is. And time again, we've tried to explain that Guru means the awakened understanding, that message which comes from a universal mind, a mind that understands the universal essence. And anything that comes from that mind and reminds you to go back into that space, teaches you, becomes a guide for you on how you can also find your universal mind. That is the Guru. Anything that awakens you from your own mind, from the darkness of your own individualistic thinking, taking you from your gu to your ru, from your darkness to your light. That is the Guru. It is the awakening to oneness. It is something that is pointing you to the eternal truth, that such, that you are the universal force of life. Now, if that is the definition of Guru, then anything else is kachee Bani. Anything else is a temporary wisdom, is an untruth, anything that doesn't point you to that ultimate understanding. That is what the Guru has called as something that is not ready, immature, unripe, inedible. This is the words that are not the ultimate truth. They are the false words. Now, another way of thinking about it is whatever idea lowers your thinking back into duality. Anything that brings your awareness back into attachment to the body, to the mind, to the world, to materialism, that is what the Guru, the enlightened master, is calling as false. Now, a way to think about duality is to look at the actual meaning of the word is dual, which is two. And I like to think about it as two thinking. where you create a world of opposites. And the way we create a world of opposites is first by creating the idea of the self. Me, I am distinctly different from you, and I am distinctly different from everything else. As soon as you've created the me, you've created a duality. You've created a way of thinking that is ignorant towards that which unites us all. And of course, there are differences between every single one of us. We can always point those out. Man is different to woman, young is different to old, human is different to animal. There are so many different ways that we can look and point out and create distinctions between one another. But the Guru is saying, if you live from that perspective, you're always going to create conflict. You're always going to create problems in your life. But you can also choose to live from the perspective of seeing that which binds everyone together, seeing that which is universal. And the only thing that is absolutely universally present in everything and everyone, in all space and time, is the essence of life, is the force of life, that which is being called a oneness. So anything that brings you away from that understanding of oneness is duality, two thinking, and makes you vemukh, turn your back to the spiritual understanding, turns you away from the divine perspective. This is what is being called kachee Bani, the mindset, the words that are coming from that mindset. So really something to think about is any words that are coming from the ego, any words that are coming from the delusion of me thinking, the delusion of the I am, your words itself is kachee Bani. And Guru is saying, kahday kachay, sunde kachee, kachee aakh vakhaanee. False who speak it, false who hear it, false are those who recite and explain it. Now we're translating the word kachee here to be false, but really it's a very difficult word to translate in a way that makes sense in English. False seems like a very strong statement, but really the word is something that's raw, something that's unripe, not ready. It's not the ultimate truth. It's not the such, it's not the truth, it's the untruth. And that's what kachee is, something that's not quite right. And so Guru is saying, those who preach bliss in any other way except this way are teaching you something that's wrong. And they are perpetuating a false idea, a false way of looking at life. And the Guru is really just asking you to consider, why would you listen to this message? Why would you follow ideas that reinforce your temporary nature rather than your universal permanent nature? And the Guru places a responsibility on both those who are speaking this wisdom, speaking this false truth, and those who are listening to this false truth. So you have to ask yourself the question, why am I following ways that bring me back into the body? Who am I allowing myself to be influenced by? Why am I not understanding the mindset of all the peoples that I look up to and thinking whether is that person bringing me into my highest truth, or is that person bringing me down into a lower understanding of myself? We have to start to question those who we look up to. And really, we have to ask, do they know the highest truth? Because those who don't know the highest truth within themselves cannot teach it to you. Those who are trapped cannot set you free. So this is a moment of reflection. What things do you have in your life that are impacting your mindset? Who are you allowing to influence the way that you think, to bring you back into the body, bring you back into the mind, bring you back into segregation and separation from everyone and everything else? Who are you allowing to create that mentality within you? Remember the last verse, the Guru was inviting the lovers of this wisdom, of this highest wisdom, and saying, let me spend time with you. And here the Guru is saying, think about those who are bringing you false information. Who breaks your connection from the Guru? Who is blinding you from seeing the ultimate truth? What habits do you have in your life that are breaking your connection? And what habits can you practice that can connect you back to this truth? Now, if we think about it from this perspective, we might conclude that, well, everything is bringing me back into this body. Everything is essentially kachee Bani. Everything is false. Does the Guru not want me to listen to anything? Now, I see it as the Guru reminding us to be vigilant. Remember and be aware of those things that are causing you harm. How does it cause us harm? When we understand ourselves to be the limited body, to be these thoughts, I am me and I am separate from everything else. When we do that, we are causing ourselves the potential to be harmed by our lust, our desires, our greed, our anger, our stresses, our worries, our attachments. Because if there is a me, then the me can be attached to things. Whereas if you identify yourself as the universal, then the universal can't be attached to anything because it is everything. So you are causing your own harm by following, listening, practicing things that are bringing you back into a temporary, false way of looking at life, the untruth of life. And the Guru is saying that you need to be vigilant of those things that cause you harm. Any lifestyle where awareness of this truth is missing, the Guru is saying this is false. This is a kachaa lifestyle. This is something that is false. Any mindset that reinforces your own sense of self, that is false. One of the ways I like to think about it is when you see horse riders, they have put blinkers on their horses. And what that does is it doesn't allow the horse to see anything else. The horse can only look ahead, and so it can't get distracted, and it can run a lot faster. And one of the ways I like to think about it is that society is sort of doing the same thing to us. Society has always persuaded us and encouraged us to look out for number one, look out for ourselves, always try and find ways to better yourself. If there are 50 people applying for a job, you need to be the one that gets the job. If there are a limited set of resources, you need to be the one that figures out a way that how do you get to the top? How do you become the one that looks after yourself? If other people own something, how do you own the same thing? How do you own something better? How do you make yourself look better, feel better by making yourself stand out? So society is putting these blinkers on us that says, only look at yourself. Only focus on your body, only focus on your mind, only focus on your temporary identity. And the Guru is saying, this isn't the way to look at life. And the Guru, I feel like, is the one that's opening your eyes, the one that's removing the blinders and giving you the better way to look at life, opens your eyes to see the bigger picture. So Guru is going back now and constantly reminding us, be aware of those people who don't know what they're talking about, who don't know the ultimate truth of life. Guru goes on to say, har har nit karhe rasnaa, kahi-aa kachhoo na jaanee. Their tongues may even chant divine words at each moment, but they know nothing of what they speak. Now in the last verse, the Guru was talking about singing and chanting divine words, but now Guru is showing you that there is a trap. Even within this, you can fall. There is a misconception that simply by saying divine words, that's going to be enough. That's enough to set you free. And the Guru is saying, no. Guru is alerting you to a problem and showing you that there is a wrong way to chant. There is a wrong way to be in Naam. There is a wrong way to practice the spiritual practice of Naam, of chanting, of jap, of reciting spiritual words. Because if you do an action without wisdom, that is the wrong way to do it. Because there are those who may even regularly chant, har har nit karhe rasnaa. They may regularly chant divine words. But kahi-aa kachhoo na jaanee. They do not know. They do not understand what they are saying. The words that they are saying, they don't understand. So the Guru is reminding you all the time, this is a path of personal transformation. This path transforms you and changes your understanding of yourself, changes your self-perception, your mindset, your thoughts. But chanting alone isn't enough if you don't understand what the purpose of that chanting is. If you don't realize the purpose of this technique is to help you remove your sense of you, to free you from yourself. And the Guru is really addressing now all religions and saying categorically, any religious action that you do will not set you free if your thinking remains the same. No worship, no prayers, no allegiances, no practices, no ceremonies, no clothings from any spiritual tradition is going to work. None of that is going to be useful if it is done within a dualistic mindset. If it is done from the perspective of me, I am doing it. I am reading these prayers. I am fasting. I am wearing spiritual robes or spiritual clothes, or I look a certain way. Anything done from that perspective of I am is essentially going to bind you down further. It's going to lock you further into the I am. Even if you think you're doing it in a spiritual way, the Guru is saying, understand what the purpose of spirituality is. And Guru is saying time and time again, it's not the religions that are false. It is the misinterpretation. It's the incorrect understanding which have led people to blindly follow all sorts of religious rituals and to create tribalism, to create these groups that segregate and say that even within religions you get groups that say we belong to this understanding or that understanding. You're Catholic or Protestant, you're Sunni or Shia. And there are so many different segregations and subdivisions within religions itself. And the Guru is saying you've not understood. You've allowed the religion, the wisdom that was meant to set you free, the one that was meant to unite you with everything, you've allowed it to segregate you. And so this is a really bold statement from the Guru. There is so much confidence coming from the spiritual masters that are saying those who preach any ideas of spirituality without understanding the truth of oneness are wrong. They are false, they are deluded, and they are lost. Guru goes on to say, chit jinka hirlaya maa-i-aa, bolan ravaanee. One whose awareness has been captured by Maya, their speech is superficial. When you forget the oneness, when you forget the totality, that everything is connected, that this is one thing in many different forms, then you think of the body as your own. And this is this word Maya that we've seen before. When you think of the body as your own, then you are trapped. You are caught, you are stuck. You are in a trap, you are caged. You're caged by a distorted view of life, and that distorted view of life has robbed you of the beauty that is all around you and the bliss that is within you. Remember in the last verse it talked about drink the Amrit. There is a blissful way of living and there is a beautiful way of looking at life. And as long as you see life through your own eyes, that these are my eyes, I am here, that very I amness has robbed you, has trapped you, has caught you, and you're missing something so amazing. And when we can't see it, our life and our words become superficial, ravaanee, which is any prayer or word or mantra or spiritual actions that are done without awareness, without understanding the deeper meaning, without allowing it to transform your experience of life itself. Anything that you say is kachee Bani, is this superficial language. You're only speaking about things that are superficial. Every conversation that you have is about superficial things because you are coming from a deluded sense of self. And we find so many times that people get comfortable doing spiritual practices but never really allow the deeper meaning to penetrate within them. We become comfortable with doing these things as a way to make us feel good. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the times we don't want to be changed. We don't want to be transformed. We use spirituality and religion as an afterlife insurance policy, just in case there is some God out there that is going to check everything that we've done with our life. At least we can say that, hey, look, we've done all these things. And this is this misunderstanding of what all spiritual traditions are trying to do. Every tradition is trying to change you into understanding your true nature, understanding what you really are. And instead of recognizing this wonder of the universe, what we're really doing is using spirituality for our own selfish interest, to just help ourselves, to either make us feel good in this life or to protect us and give us something in the afterlife. And Guru is saying this is not the right way to live. Guru ends this verse by saying, "Kahai naanak, satguroo baajhahu, hor kachee Bani." Says Nanak, without the true Guru, all other messages are false. And so what this does is, Guru here is making such a confident statement and really cementing the authority of this wisdom. It shows you the importance of the wisdom in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the wisdom of Gurbani. It shows you the magnitude of what this message really is. In the last verse, the Guru called this banee-aa sir Bani, the wisdom of wisdoms. And this is the Guru giving their own stamp of approval and saying that there is real authority in this spiritual wisdom. In the realm of spirituality, this wisdom is supreme. And what the Guru is doing is, Guru is setting a benchmark by which all other spiritual wisdom and all other spiritual preachers should be assessed. Are they teaching you this ultimate highest truth? Because if they're not, anything that they're doing is a lower truth or an untruth, a kachee Bani. So this verse reminds you also how strong this delusion of our mind is, this maya, how strong it is, and reminding you again and again that the only purpose of all spirituality is to break your mental delusions and to stop you thinking about the importance of your own story. Answer the following questions either by writing them down or discussing them in your groups. How would you describe the universal mind and individual mind? What things influence your mind to forget the oneness? What habits and practices help you to connect back with the truth? How can you use this understanding to make better choices in life?